Did you ever wonder why some educators oppose a new discipline policy or that SEL program you've been trying to implement? I've worked with many schools where a committee of dedicated people spent hours researching and developing a new initiative, only to have trouble getting buy-in from their colleagues. Even if they present many benefits of the idea at a faculty meeting, there are usually staff members who are uncomfortable with the policy or the requirements of that new program. When it comes to school climate, it matters what you do, and more importantly, where you start. So my online resources and consulting work are designed to help you plan your school climate journey and avoid ending up at that dead end. If we want enthusiastic buy-in from staff, it's important to consider the needs of the staff, as well as our students. I'm not surprised when seasoned staff members voice concerns about a new discipline policy. Likely, they'll be expected to replace strict rules or punitive consequences with a more flexible and collaborative approach. They just don't feel comfortable with the change. From their perspective, what they currently do works for them. It meets their need to maintain order or to handle situations in a consistent fashion. Actually, we all choose our behaviors to address the needs that we have. So judging a colleague for choosing something that works for them builds resentment, not support. A more productive place to start is with something that will help our colleagues to meet their needs, which in turn will help them be more successful in meeting their students' needs. This is a way of communicating our feelings and needs without judgment or blame. It also helps us to be able to listen for and identify somebody else's needs. This is why I recommend starting any school climate journey with staff communication skills. Once this is in place, everything else seems to fall into place. We can then implement an SEL program and develop a more positive approach to discipline. These valuable initiatives now have a chance to succeed because all of them depend on skillful adult communication. Imagine what school would be like if we all became more skillful communicators. Likely, many of the problems you've been trying to solve in other ways will no longer be problems. Think for a moment about a time when someone said or did something that you didn't like. You might try to tell them that what they did caused you to feel upset. For example, I'm feeling disrespected because you ignored my suggestion at the meeting. The problem with this statement is that we're blaming someone for our feelings. We have that feeling because a need of ours has not been met. However, we said, I'm feeling disrespected because of your action, instead of simply stating my need. In addition, the word disrespect is really not a feeling word. It's a blaming word. We're blaming somebody else for our feeling. So to avoid getting a defensive response, we might say instead, I'm disappointed that I didn't have time to discuss my suggestion because I was hoping to hear what others think about it. Connecting my feelings to my needs instead of your action avoids blame and makes it easier to then request what you'd like from that other person. This is part of the communication process I like to teach. Schools rarely develop an intentional approach to communication. Instead, we hope people will communicate well. We provide no real techniques, so everyone handles things in their own way, and that creates an inconsistent environment for kids, colleagues, and parents. Whether or not you'll feel heard and your needs will be met depends on who you're talking to. It's much easier to help our colleagues develop a less combative way of communicating. As soon as they try it out and have success in a personal or professional conversation, you'll have their support. I realized this while giving presentations at large faculty meetings. I tend to pay attention to the people who choose to sit in the back row. I'm always wondering about why they're in that back row, since there's plenty of empty seats up front. Perhaps they have to leave early and don't want to be disruptive. Maybe they're waiting for an important call and might need to get up suddenly. Whatever the reason, some people in the back row tend to look like they'd rather be somewhere else. Others appear skeptical. Anyway, as soon as I explain how you can use this communication approach in a challenging conversation with your spouse, a teenager, or toddler at home, their facial expressions change. Without fail, one of the people I thought was disinterested comes up to thank me for teaching them something they can use as soon as they get home. We've helped them meet a need. They're curious, and now they want to learn more. That staff member often shows up at the next school climate meeting and encourages others to support those projects. And next time, they might even sit closer to the front. I've learned that any staff can improve the climate of their school if first they connect what they want to do to the needs of the staff. I hope you'll enjoy my website, which begins with a simple way to enhance the way you communicate. You'll find 3 key school climate strategies, the evidence-based theories that are behind my practice, and lots of resources, all designed to help you plan and successfully navigate your school climate journey. So now it's time to get started. Just follow the roadmap on my site and enjoy the trip.